Girl, I'm about to have a panic attack. I did the work, it didn't work. That truth, it hurts. That damn, it hurts. That lovey-dovey shit, was not a fan of it. I'm good with my friends. I don't want a man, girl. I'm in my bed. I'm way too fine to be here alone. On the other hand, I know my worth. And now he calling me. Why do I feel like this? What's happened to me? Oh, oh, oh. Am I ready? Ain't a doubt. Am I ready? What you talking about? Am I ready? You figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. Am I ready? You serve it now. 'Cause I want it. That's what I'm talking about. Am I ready? You figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. How am I supposed to love somebody else when I don't like myself? Like, ooh, guess I better learn to like this. Ooh, it might take my whole life just to do. He called me Melly, he squeezed my belly. I'm too embarrassed to say I like it. Girl, is this my boo? That's why I'm asking you, 'cause you know I've been through. Am I ready? Ain't a doubt. Am I ready? What you talking about? Am I ready? You figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. Am I ready? You serve it now. 'Cause I want it. That's what I'm talking about. Am I ready? You figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. You found me, I was fed up with the fantasy. What you wanna do? Think I'm ready? Ooh, think you like that? Think you like that? When I clap back like that, let me know. You found me, I was fed up with the fantasy. What you wanna do? Think I'm ready? Ooh, think you like that? Think you like that? When I clap back like that, let me know. Am I ready? Ain't a doubt. Am I ready? What you talking about? Am I ready? Figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. Am I ready? You serve it now. 'Cause I want it. That's what I'm talking about. Am I ready? Figure it out. To be loved, to be loved. Am I ready? Yesterday I would have run away, and I don't know why. I don't know why. No why. Yesterday I would have run away, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but I'm ready.
Why am I on my own on a Friday night? My friends are on my phone, they keep blowing up my line. Send me your location, the Uber's outside. Running out of time. If we're going out, out for the night, I'ma meet you down on the floor. Oh, tell me when you're out, out for the night. We can get it started, let's go. Oh, just watch me dance. Just watch me. Why am I on my own on a Saturday night? Send me your location, the Uber's outside. Friends all in the bathroom, so I cut through the line. Running out of time. If we're going out, out for the night, I'ma meet you down on the floor. Oh, tell me when you're out, out for the night. We can get it started, let's go. Oh, just watch me dance. Just watch me. Tonight we're going out, out. Tonight we're going out, out.
bitch, who this ass?
You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. A prima donna girl. Would you do anything for me? Buy a big diamond ring for me? Would you get down on your knees for me? Pop that pretty question right now, baby. Beauty queen on a silver screen, living life like I'm in a dream. I know I've got a big ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though. I'm back to the core. Every day is a chore. When you give, I want more. I wanna be adored, 'cause I'm a prima donna girl. Yeah, all I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. A prima donna girl. Fill the void up with celluloid. Take a picture, I'm with the boys. Get what I want, 'cause I asked for it. Not because I'm really that deserving of it. Living life like I'm in the play. In the limelight, I want to stay. I know I've got a big ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though. Going up, going down. Anything for the crown. When the lights dim down, I spin around. 'Cause I'm a prima donna girl. Yeah, all I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. Prima donna girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say they are kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. Prima donna girl. Always say you love me, but you always make it all about you, especially when you've had a few. Oh yeah, all the things I heard from your ex, now they make a whole lot of sense. Already feel bad for you next to have to put up with you. Oh yeah, worked on myself, open my eyes. You hate my friends, turns out they were right. It takes two to make it all go right. But with you, it's always my fault and yours should be Ego always doing the most. Out of touch and not even close. Drama always follows you home, but I won't be waiting no more. Worked on myself, open my eyes. You hate my friends, turns out they were right. It takes two to make it all go right. But with you, it's always my fault and your short views. Just like a time bomb, and I think you should take a second just to look at your reflection, baby. Maybe you're the problem. Okay, you see a pattern, your point of view. Got it all backwards. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. But with you, it's always my fault and your short views. Just like a time bomb, and I think you should take a second just to look at your reflection, baby. Maybe you're the problem. Okay, you see a pattern, your point of view. Got it all backwards. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem.
I didn't ask for a free ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up. You showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me. Harder like misery. It's coming down on me. I'm ready, rain on me. Drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain.
Rain on me.
Living in a world where no one's innocent. Oh, but at least we try. Gotta live my truth, not keep it bottled in. So I don't lose my mind. Baby, yeah, I can feel it on my skin.
It's coming down on me.
Teardrops on my face.
Harder like
Let it
misery.
wash away my sins.
It's coming down on me.
Let it wash away.
I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain.
Rain on me. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me, tsunami. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me.
At least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain.
Rain on me.
I hear the thunder coming down, won't you rain on me? I hear the thunder coming down, won't you rain on me?
Some things look better, baby, just passing through.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. Touchdown brings me round again. Well, I thought it, but I can't dead head. No, no, no. It's Charlie, baby. You won't see me crying on the bathroom floor. I ain't never coming back for more. Wanna see you walking out that door. Bye, 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 bye. You won't see me begging for a second chance. Say I need you cause it don't make sense. Boy, you just lost a 10 out of 10. Won't lie, lie, lie. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Moving till my feet get sore. Hands all on me till my dress gets torn. Watch me do it real hardcore. My. You and me, we never ever made much sense. I'm too independent, no offense. Boy, don't be sad about the things I said. Don't cry, cry, cry. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it. Shake my ass, I'm stopping it. I look hot in it, hot in it. I look hot in it. One is you make me happy, two is you set me free from all the things that held me back from just being me. Thank you for all the sweetness. Now I can finally breathe. Now I can finally breathe. But baby, don't you see? I still get frustrated again, lie when you keep on doing things that don't like. And I hate your friends, and I hate your moves, and I still love you. I got 21 reasons why I do. still love you. I got 21 reasons why I do.
Want your power burning deep in my soul. Give me a shock. Electric. Keep that high voltage all night long. Plug me in. Flick the switch. Turn me on. You know I need it. Fire it up. Keep it hot. We're going all night long. Baby, don't stop. My body's ready, ready. Set me free, need to get it, get it. Hey, I've been heavy, heavy. Electricity, baby, give it to me. I'm ready. Give me a shot. Electric. Want your power burning deep in my soul. Give me a shot. Electric. Keep that high voltage all night long. Hits me hard, like a truck, running up. It's a different love. I'm on the floor, it's consequential. Still I need more. Never felt this way before. My body's ready, ready. Set me free, need to get it, get it. Hey, I've been heavy, heavy. Electricity, baby, give it to me. I'm ready. Give me a shot. Electric. Want your power burning deep in my soul. Give me a shot. Electric. Keep that high voltage all night long. Electric. Want your power burning deep in my soul. Give me a shot. Electric. Keep that high voltage all night long. Give me a shot. Electric. Want your power burning deep in my soul. Give me a shot. Electric. Keep that high voltage all night long.
Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine ass out the door. I do my head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, girl, need to kick off your shoes. Gotta take a deep breath, time to focus on you. All the big fights, long nights that you've been through. I got a bottle of tequila I've been saving for you.
Thank God. 'Cause he better know my worth. There's so much that I deserve, but I ain't worried now. I'ma let my head down. He been trying it, but not today. So girl, if he don't love you anymore,
Walk your fine ass out the door. I do your head toss, check my nails. Baby,
giving love in a family dog. We are family. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Sing it to me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
Britney Spears and the unstoppable danger. You're gonna have to remove me, cause I ain't going nowhere.
I wish you gave me a reason that you were better at leaving. That you got your kicks from seeing me low. I always let the good ones go. Don't want the kisses unless they're bitter. I'm hooked on touches that leave me weaker. I swear that I love nothing more than broke. I always let the good ones go. And maybe you couldn't have loved me any better, but doing this is all that I've known it for. I want the bad ones, cause they're all I know. I always let the good ones go. I always let the good ones go. I let the good ones go. Lay you down easy, I'm trying. Cause you're everything I spend my whole life fighting. So when I walk away, it's not your fault. I always let the good ones go. And maybe you couldn't have loved me any better, but doing this is all that I've known it for. I want the better ones, cause they're all I know. I always let the good ones go. I always let the good ones go. Je suis désolée. Lo siento. Ik ben droevig. Sono spiacente. Perdonami.
skin. In the way that our kisses taste sweeter after drinking.
And the same for people who lead queer lives. Our first marches, parties, markets that laid the foundations for what we now call Pride were also celebratory. They were fun, but they were pushed into existence through steely resolve, through defiance, and with the consciousness that they may result in violent reprisal from a world that did not think our communities had anything to be proud of. From a discursive political curtain that wished to project only its own shame onto our communities. That tone chased people like us, all of us, down alleyways and out of family homes. Then, like now, feeling proud, feeling good about your life was a protest. We may balk at that tone now. We may attempt to not hear it, rest within the sanctity of our walled party zone and our cracking echo chambers digitally online, safe in the belief that progress has been made, laws have been changed, our lives are no longer up for debate. Are we not free now? Are we not equal? Break up the band and let's pursue our solo careers, and we'll come together each year for a little knees up. Why keep fighting? Why keep protesting? Nothing says protest like a clipboard, am I right? But as I get to the end of each page, I'll make it a drama. Can a party not just be a party? I would challenge anyone holding those kinds of views to look around you at the people who stand with you tonight. Can all of us truly walk down the street free from risk, free from harm? Do we all now have access to the medical care that we need? Are the laws, conventions and culture that seemingly protect us that effective? Are our identities, desires and existence not still up for debate? I challenge you then to download Twitter and have a real good look around at the world that we live in at the moment. That's why we say pride is what? Pride is what? Whilst progress has been made for some in some areas, some have benefited more than others from our pride, from our party and from our protest. Both then and now, the sentiments of pride fought for by multiple groups with different needs. The idea that we are all the same or have ever been the same is a falsehood. But we are all communities forced to live in varying degrees in the shadows. And we shared the desire to live how we like and love who we choose, to dress, behave, and exist in the ways that felt most natural to us. Is it enough that only some of us made it through to the dance floor of acceptance? Will you leave your friend out in the queue? Will you? Are you sure of your place on the guest list? That bouncer over there is looking at you a little bit shiftily, and they don't seem very happy that they've taken your top off. Drama. Oh, it's tension. Tension. That wasn't an urge for you to take your top off. I can see you there. Yes, you can cheer that. We should be proud of our diverse heritages, that we came into being as a collective in response to the needs of the most vulnerable amongst us. It's what makes our community so special. If the last few years has shown us anything, our march for progress has no endpoint. And we shouldn't be scared of that. Our hard-won rights are always part of an ever-shifting debate mediated by the pressures of a globally interconnected world. Remember that anything, and this is something I say all the time, anything that is given can be taken away. And we are always only a series of moral outrages and health concerns from being the next scapegoat at the feast of public opinion. It's more important than ever to ask ourselves, why are we here? Why do we do this every single year? Why are we proud? And why do we protest? if we can't ask that of one another, how will we answer that when our survival depends upon it, as it did in the past, and as it does still for many of us still today? And the answers, they're not always easy, especially for a broad church such as ourselves. We have different needs, understandings of our identities, multiple intersectionalities. There's probably plenty that we disagree on occasion. But look at what we've already achieved together. Look at how the world already changed. And imagine what we might achieve if we stay together. It's imperative that we stay together. Do not let us be divided and subdivided into ever more conquerable cliques. To disregard the potency of our collective power, that's asking for trouble. Neither our anger nor our celebration is enough without our unity, without the demonstration that different people with different needs and different goals can come together to achieve our collective interests, our collective goals, our collective needs, with the potential to benefit all. That job is never done. Tackling homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, racism, classism, ableism, sexism are not mutually exclusive endeavors. They are the same endeavor. Even those at apparent intersections of apparent privilege within our community, you still have a way to go. What parts of yourself are still forced to hide? What needs still lie beneath the surface of our communities? How do we recognize our diversity, acknowledge our inequality, yet maintain that unity in celebration of the progress we've made and to lift us all up a little bit because we need it? I don't know. Do you? Do you? You specifically. Do you know? No, I don't know either. But I would argue either that none of the speakers alone tonight has those kinds of answers. But homophobia! I can hazard a guess at where to start. It begins with listening to each other. The elements of disunity that sometimes exist amongst us are not to be feared. They are calls for collective action. We're here tonight to listen to some of the voices that constitute our collective power. You're going to hear many things that you agree with. There'll be a fair amount of preaching to the choir this evening. And that's really important too, to reaffirm our commitment to stand with one another. But maybe, just maybe, you might hear things that don't resonate with you. Things that you even might find challenging. It's fair to say that queer people, we're not very keen on debating the way that we see ourselves and the world, even with each other. And that is totally understandable. Those voices of authority, they haven't done very well for us in the past. But as a result, we sometimes deny ourselves the uncomfortable space where we can establish our shared purpose, temper and harden our unity, especially as some of us have already attained a certain level of comfort or even a tolerable level of discomfort. We have to create spaces in which we can listen, in which we are willing to converse, convince, and to compromise. This is an opportunity to affirm that which we share with each other over that which might be used to divide us. And there's a lot of dissenting voices calling for a division in our community at the moment. Our endeavors are the same, and we will need each other. Maybe not now, maybe not next week, maybe not next year. But I promise you, we're going to need each other. That's the last one now. That was your last chance to whoop. Take this opportunity tonight to stand with one another, to listen and to learn, to build empathy and strengthen our unity, to revel in what makes us unique and to commit to furthering each other's needs. So when they ask us, what do you have to be proud of? We can say that we're proud of each other, the differences that we've overcome, all that has been done, and all that we still have yet to achieve. Are you ready to have some speakers this evening? I think you need to get a little bit more riled up. Fortunately, I am being joined this evening by a very good friend of mine. I like to think of her as the cheerleader of protesting. Please welcome to the stage my dearest darling, Kate O'Donnell.
Hi! Thanks for coming with all your lovely banners. They're beautiful. Honest to God, this is the protest that I want to be part of. Can I just say? Yeah, hi, my name is Kate O'Donnell. I am a trans show-off. I am also the artistic director of Trans Creative, which is Manchester's very own trans arts organisation. You're welcome! I was thinking about protest, and I thought, wow, for me, protest and thinking, I didn't know it was called protest, but as a young queer kid growing up in my family, I realised pretty quickly that protest was about, I had to get out of that place. And that kind of the way I was talked to. I was called a big girl's blouse nearly every day by my dad. And I always think that was just his way of letting me know what a shit dad he was. Really. And I feel like those experiences, whether on the street, at school, at home, they kind of make queer people start to think about, how am I going to rebel against this? How am I going to get out of this? How am I going to support other people in the same situation? How am I going to survive? And I think some of those experiences as queer people kind of make us very open to injustice and inequality. And I think we kind of, there's seeds of protest kind of growing in us from a very young age. So I came out as a gay man in 1981. So that was 41 years ago. I was 16 years old. Amazing. Look at me. Do the maths. I was 16 years old, and if anybody was around in 1981, that was the beginning of the AIDS epidemic. That was the year of the gay plague. So I had a really good sense, beginning my sexuality, that I was going to be in for a really rough ride. And I think because of that awareness as a queer person, I spent most of that polarised 1980s on Westminster Bridge holding up a placard and trying not to be trampled on by a police horse. That was my experience of the 80s. It was a very busy time for protests. We were protesting against the homophobic Clause 28, against poll tax, against the treatment of coal miners, against the cutting of free university education, the imprisonment of Nelson Mandela. Protests, protests, protests. As a trans person, I've been pulled back onto the streets again. And when I reread that, I thought that sounds a bit odd. But you know what I mean? I kind of had to take to the street. I wasn't like yanked out my house. I chose to go back onto the streets. Yes. And in Manchester, along with my trans community and the brilliant allies, I had to protest against the government support of trans conversion therapy. And how, yes, exactly. I love a panto. So when I say that again, let's all boo. So protest the government's support of trans conversion therapy. Perfect. And also how they decided to single out that ban on conversion therapy from the lesbian, gays and bisexual community. That kind of divide and conquer, that old trick. So at that demonstration, which was kind of just in St. Peter's Square here in Manchester not that long ago, rather than feel helpless and down, I felt hopeful. I felt energized. I was around my fellows, and I realized that turning up and being fabulous is one of the best ways to make a stand. The outfits were carefully styled. The banners were on point. And the chants were really entertaining. It was a reminder, if you have to protest, let's be fabulous while we do it. So I just thought, and I think this is going to go well because you all look quite fabulous. So I thought I just wanted to check the levels of fabulousness here because we're going to need it because the protest isn't over. Trust me. So let's keep that level of queer fabulousness, thank you, quite high. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a fabulous off. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this. It's something that I just really love to do in a crowd. So what you need to do is, when I count you in, and when I kind of, you know, when I call you and count you in, you just need to shout fabulous as loudly and proudly as you can. Are you ready for that? Fabulous. So, let's start with the L's. Hello, L's. On the count. All right. Keen. I like keen. Here we go. On the count of 3, lesbians. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, G's. On the count of 3, you know what you have to do. 1, 2, 3. They're always so loud, aren't they? Okay, how about the B's? B's, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got a lot of B's in. Hi. And now, how about the T's, the Q's, the I's, and the A's? Are you ready? Come on, don't let me down. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Now, I am sure, yes. Come on, let's hear some applause for the T's and the Q's and the I's and the A's. So I'm sure that we have some straight cis allies here who would like to, hello. We've got one anyway, who would really like to join the party. But just before we do, I would like to remind the cis straights that just because you are the majority does not make you normal, it just makes you common. So just bear that in mind during this weekend. Okay. Okay, so cisgender straight people, you know who you are. You've all got your cross to bear. So this is your chance to be fabulous, so don't waste it. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Marvellous. How about we just do a collective fabulous all together on the count and wave your banners in the air. 1, 2, 3. I wish I had my camera. That was beautiful. So I think what we need to remember is when we come together, we can do amazing things. And together we are stronger and together we are more fabulous. So let's bring that fabulous energy to the protest and know that it's one of our superpowers. Harness it, share it, and use it to change the world. You are fabulous! Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that, actually. I'm now going to welcome back Cheddar and the gorgeous Tony. Thank you very much. Love you.
Thank you, my lovely Kate. This doorway is not made for such a high hat. No, I've got to do an introduction. I've got to get back. That Kate O'Donnell, she just loves to take over, doesn't she? Give it up for Kate O'Donnell! She's literally one of my favorite human beings in the entire world. Now, I'm going to bring somebody out with me now. You may actually have seen them on this stage last year, performing with me as the wonderful Patsy Decline. Yeah, I named her too. There's maybe a drag name for the older members of the audience. It's really funny if you're like over, 60, 65, something like... I noticed that you got it, Joanna, didn't you? Anyway, he runs a group called Out in the City, an over 50s social support group for LGBT plus people, and set up the first LGBT plus asylum seeker support group in the UK, spoke out on the Section 28 rally in 1988 in front of 20,000 people, and was also active in the ACT UP movement. A true Manchester activist. Rapturous applause, Tony Openshaw.
Hello.
Hi, Tony.
Hello.
How are you? I don't know where to put myself because I'm mobile. I feel like I can be like, oh, I could ask you questions from over here, Tony. I could ask you questions from over here. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little underdressed.
A little? Oh, no. I felt a little bit underdressed, to be honest with you. I thought I was giving a little bit too much shoulder for a protest. But the trick is to have less clothing, and then the police have less to grab onto. Don't they? And then the bits that they do grab onto, they come off really easily, which is exactly what you wanted to protest. So, Tony, you've been pretty much part of every single queer activist movement in this city. Since when? When did you start?
Since the mid-70s. Wow.
You're meant to say, no, Tony. You can't have been doing activism since the mid-70s. You don't look old enough.
50 years.
50 years in activism, getting us to where we are today. Now, ACT UP was renowned for its exciting stunts, for some crazy stuff going on. Do you have any, favourite memories of your time in the ACT UP movement?
Well, we wanted to campaign against Strange Race Prison, as condoms were not allowed in the prison, and we were concerned about people contracting HIV because of unprotected sex and people sharing needles. So we did a protest at Strange Ways where we got some tennis balls, we slit the tennis balls, put condoms inside, and with tennis rackets we bounced them over the walls.
That story was not going at all where I thought it was going to go. I was like, tennis balls, condoms, I've been to that party before. Sorry.
Anyway, a few weeks later, we went to see the social worker in Strange Ways Prison. We had a meeting, and they changed the policy. Condoms were then available, no questions asked. Great success.
I mean, to me, that doesn't seem like too radical idea, giving condoms to prisoners, does it? Do you know what I mean? Did you find that you were often fighting battles that seemed to just make sense?
Well, there was people like Texaco who insisted that every employee had a HIV test. So we blocked Texaco's petrol stations quite a few times.
Good for the environment as well. Absolutely. What kind of things what kind of changes have you seen over the years, I suppose is a good question.
Well, in 1971, I turned 16. I was allowed to get married, but that was only to a person of the opposite sex. And it wasn't until 2014, when I was 59, that I could marry somebody of my choice.
And is that on the cards, Tony?
It may be on the cards. Watch this space.
I'm only joking. He's got a lovely, lovely partner. What kind of things are you focusing on now? What kind of changes would you like to see moving forward?
What I think is so important now is helping and supporting asylum seekers and refugees. The situation in Uganda is well known. There's mob violence, there's laws about imprisonment. Tom Daley did a programme on TV, you may have seen it recently, about countries in the Commonwealth which still have imprisonment and even the death penalty. So I think it's really important to support our friends. In Uganda, only on the 5th of August, 3 weeks ago, they closed down an organisation called Sexual Minorities Uganda. Very similar to the LGBT Foundation, but on a small scale. That's the sort of organisation that is really needed to help people in that country, and yet it's been closed down by the government. We ought to support people in this country, and it's really important, especially from countries where there is a death penalty or in large number of years of imprisonment.
And what can the people out there tonight do to help out? Is there somewhere they can go to? Is there...
God, that's a big question. Sorry.
What would you like to see them do? Go on, they're your personal task force.
Right. You should act locally, think globally, get involved in campaigns, do something.
Do something.
Protest.
Protest. Thank you so... What? Are there any charities they can donate to specifically?
Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, you know more than I do.
Do it. Put it out there. African Rainbow Family and... Do it again. Care for Calais. Oh my God, yes, of course. Yay! Care for Calais, African Rainbow Family. Get out there. Take some action, folks. Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.
Give it up for Tony Openshaw. Oh, you're going that way? Oh, wonderful. I don't have my next piece of paper. Oh, it's Wes. Oh, I didn't need to know this one's name, seriously. All the way from the LGBT Foundation, another... I know all of them back there. It's like a little fun family disco going on. They're absolutely wonderful. Please welcome to the stage, our dear darling Wesley.
Thank you, Cheddar. Good evening, everyone. My name is Wes. My pronouns are he, they. I'm the Village Development Coordinator for the LGBT Foundation. I first came to Manchester about 20 years ago, a scared and damaged little boy. And now I'm proud to be stood here in front of you, being able to give back to a community that has always done so much for me. Pride is just as important to me today as it was back then. It was an event like this that I learned that I'm okay, I'm accepted, and I am loved. And it's events like this that show other people across the globe who cannot be themselves that there is hope. Pride is life. Pride is a protest to show the less accepting people that our lives are our own, not discussion points or news headlines, and certainly not up for debate. I'd like to wish you all a happy Pride, and I'd like to welcome to the stage my colleague Ibtisam.
Hello, folks. My name is Ibtisam. My pronouns are he and him. I work alongside Wes at LGBT Foundation as the head of policy and research, which is a fancy way of saying my job is to annoy politicians. I am also a very proud member of the House of Spice. You'll be hearing from us today. And I am queer. I am disabled, I am a migrant, and if you can probably see, I'm a person of color, which brings with it a fair share of complicated legacies and navigations. I'm a migrant from Bangladesh, which means that the UK is the first country I've lived in where it has been fully safe to be me. And it doesn't escape me one day ever that the country that I'm living in now, where it's safe to be me, is historically the reason it's not safe to be me in Bangladesh. And I think it's really important that we acknowledge our histories, and it's important that we understand that while a lot of us do feel safe in spaces, and it's really great that we do, that hasn't always been the case, and that still isn't always the case. Disabled folks aren't always included. Disabled folks like me sometimes get thought of as inconveniences or a tick box exercise. Migrants don't get a chance to speak all the time. I'm really fortunate to get this platform because for a lot of migrants, getting a chance to speak is getting a chance to get deported. people of colour have been on the receiving end of so much hate, including recently in Manchester's own gay village. And it's really, really important that we recognise where these gaps are. But I'm also where I'm really lucky. I have a stable job. I am cis, I'm a man. I am fortunate enough to be fluent in English. And I know that that means that my voice tends to get heard more than some other people's do. So what I would ask you all to do when you think about pride, when you think about solidarity, and when you think about community, take a breath and look around you. See who's here, see who's standing with you, but see who hasn't had the chance to come into the room yet. Think about how you make space at the table, and then you can flip it over and make a new one later. But it's really important that we all stand together. So I say this in the hope that when we look towards a world of equality, it's a world that doesn't just look like this, it also looks like all the people who aren't here today. So when I say equality wins, and one day when we don't need events like this anymore, we all get to do it together. So thank you for having us. Thank you for having from the foundation. And I would love to take this moment to introduce the absolutely fantastic Evie DeLuca onto stage.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Evie DeLuca, and I am a trans South Asian woman here in Manchester, and I'm also known in drag as the Bolly Witch. Who here has actually heard of me? Who hasn't heard of me before until today? Isn't it amazing that this is the last time you're going to say that? It's beautiful, isn't it? So just a little thing about me. So I am a trans author, and I'm also a drag performer. I'm the author of Tainted Beauty, the memoir of an authentic creation, which is my story of being a trans South Asian woman and what it was like for me growing up in the 90s. Because, you know, I look young, but I'm not that young. And also, as the Bolly Witch, I create Bollywood horror drag. I mean, do I need to say any more? But I do have a cabaret right here in Manchester called Apocalypse Cabaret, which platforms queer artists of colour who just want to freak you the hell out. So keep your eyes open. So I just wanted to read something to you that is very important to me. Our history is vast, full of queer people wanting nothing more than to live life without fear, to love, to breathe, to inhale and exhale the same air that everyone else does. It's not a difficult concept to grasp that human beings should be able to be themselves and not be told that who they are is wrong. But you already know that, right? I mean, this cannot be the first time you've heard a queer person say this. You also know why we keep saying it. Protest is something that makes me angry. I'm angry that Pride had to start as a protest. I'm angry that after years of protest, of building community, of raising awareness, that we still have to protest against those who wish to harm us. Protest will never not be a necessity, and that makes me bloody angry. So what to do? Do we stay quiet and hope that things get better? Hell no! We need to continue taking a stand and celebrating who we are. But before we can expect society to accept us and include us, we must practice that within our own community. I'm tired of having to speak up as a trans woman of colour against the racism and transphobia that I have experienced, not just within our community, but right here in the village. How is it 2022 and this is still happening? Why are people still pretending as though it isn't happening and denying the truth? Only a few weeks ago, a group of South Asian queer people from the House of Spice were ejected out of 2 bars in the village by staff right over there in a racially targeted hate crime. Yeah, Via and Bar Pop, speak the fuck up. I'm tired of fighting, of having to be the person that has to speak on the hardships we as queer people of colour face within our community, and all I get in return is a reputation for being a problem. What about my celebration? When do I get to join the party? Pride is most definitely a protest, and that message also applies to us just as much to the world. We're not perfect, but we are capable of positive change. It starts with looking at the bars, the events, the communities, and acknowledging that we are not seeing a true depiction of our community if we are still seeing people being discriminated, removed, or told that we are not welcome. The village is more than a gay village. It is a queer village. I don't want to just see an abundance of trans and non-binary people in the village when it's sparkle. It should be all year round. We shouldn't be seeing queer people of colour being included in celebrations when it suits the white cis people in charge who want a reputation of being inclusive when the spotlight is on them. Protest is a strong and effective way to promote change for the better, but I refuse to let protest be my only way to be seen for who I am and what I can contribute. I see too many of my queer family being looked over, ignored, even attacked for who they are behind the scenes, and are only given a pedestal to stand on when it suits the agenda of the white cis machine, who can then turn around and say, see, we're not that white and cis. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Enough is enough, and I'm tired. So I ask you, give me your energy. Give the community your energy. Look around you and see what needs to be changed and change it, right? Protest started with a queer person of colour, but that doesn't mean that we have to carry that responsibility for the rest of our lives so that you get the opportunity to enjoy the pride that follows. We are united in our humanity, and it's time that you start acting like it. Our history has shown us the resilience and determination we all have. The strength in us is endless. The beauty in being queer has no bounds and should not be diluted, especially by our own community. When you see an injustice, a person in need, a voice trying to be heard, look at what you can do to help your family and do it. Only then can we truly see real change. Thank you. And I want to just say that you all look absolutely beautiful tonight, and thank you so much for coming out, because what you're doing right now, that's the start of something amazing. Keep doing that, okay? So I want to introduce the next person coming on stage, which is the amazing... Go on, give me some... I need some backup. I need some backup. There we go. Give it up for Dominic Lawson.
I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to love. I've got my sister. I can't feel her now. She may not be here, but she's still mine, and I know that she still loves me. I got my children. I can't hold them now. They may not be here, but they still mine, and I hope they know I still love them. I got my house. nobody can hold down. I got my hands doing things like they supposed to, showing my heart to the folks that I'm close to. I got my eyes, though they don't see as far now. They see more about how things really are now. I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back and look you straight in the eye. I'm gonna flirt with somebody when they walk by. I'm gonna sing out, sing out. I believe I have inside of me everything that I need to live a bountiful life with all the love alive in me. I'll stand as tall as the tallest tree, and I'm thankful for each day that I'm given, both the easy and hard ones. I'm leaving, but most of all, I'm thankful for loving who I really am. I'm beautiful. Yes, I'm beautiful. And I'm here. Thank you very much. Make some noise for Josh and Ali. Now, if you don't know, that song is called I'm Here from The Colour Purple, and I chose that song today because just to echo the words already spoken so eloquently by Evie, the intersectionality of it all. That song, that musical, that story is a queer story, very popular in black culture, but the queerness is completely erased out of it. I didn't know it was queer until I went into my mid-20s. I was like, these ladies are lesbians. But the black community continues to erase our contributions to the fierceness of our culture and the rich, rich heritage that we have. And I feel like that song, to me, encapsulates that sentiment so perfectly. I am beautiful. I'm here. And I make no apologies for it. So, ladies and gents, I want to encourage you to write your own story. Don't allow what society trims away from our rich, rich heritage and culture to infiltrate into your being. You are beautiful, you are here, and you will not apologize for it. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome to the stage Soraya.
Hey, Manchester. Are you good? So my name is Soraya Aisha. Today I'm reading this speech on behalf of Chloe Cousins, who some of you will know, who's an amazing activist, organizer, founder of Rainbow Noir. Unfortunately, Chloe can't be here today because she's not feeling very well. But these are her words, and so I'm going to share them with you tonight. So the theme of Pride this year is peace. To me, peace is collective. But I found it so hard to think about what I wanted to say today on peace because so few of us really have peace, like true peace. I think many of us have moments of peace, but there's so much happening around us and to us that it feels so far away. And I couldn't help but think about all the people within our community who are still standing in the way of other people's peace. Some accidentally, unknowingly, some hard-headedly, some capitalistically, some are standing in the way of parts of our community finding peace and finding balance. And to me, peace is collective. And sometimes it saddens me to think that the closer some of us get to peace, the further away we get from those who are still struggling. And sometimes we like to look at videos of nostalgic moments in our community of days gone by. We look at how bad things were and sigh a sigh of relief that we're nowhere near as bad as we used to be. We smile and celebrate and think about how good our lives are now. And don't get me wrong, we still deserve to smile. That's what Pride is about. But we can celebrate and still hold space in our minds for people who cannot be here, whose lives have not changed all that much, whose challenges in society outside and within the LGBT community still hold them back from peace. Let's not let reflecting back on how bad things were make us look on with rose-tinted glasses about what's actually happening in our communities now. Things have got better for some of us, but definitely not for all of us. I want to share with you some of the things I'm holding at the moment and have over the last year. I can celebrate that there is a whole area of this city, in theory, dedicated to LGBTQ people. And at the same time, still be angry at the fact that a black gay friend of mine was stabbed outside a club on Canal Street by a racist homophobe just a few months ago. I can celebrate that the government has banned conversion therapy for lesbian, gay, and bisexual people, but have left trans people out of that conversion ban. I can celebrate the fact that there are more and more nights where LGBTQ people can go, but as Evie has said, House of Spice was still racially profiled on Canal Street twice in the same night and were called a racist slur. I can celebrate being out and about and still feel saddened by the fact that my sick and disabled friends feel forgotten about within venues and organisers are still not doing enough to make people feel included. There's lots to celebrate. But for invisibilised people in our community, those of us who are pushed to the margins, there's still such a long way to go. So many of us are still not at peace, and peace is collective. Black lesbian feminist mother, poet warrior Audre Lorde said, there is no such thing as a single issue struggle because we do not live single issue lives. It's so easy to get consumed by what's going on for us, what we're dealing with or dealt with, that we invisibilize other people's struggles and we don't think about who else is in our community. Sometimes we don't mean to do that. Sometimes we just assume if we're okay, others are okay. Sometimes it's just hard to be confronted with other people's realities. But no one said this work is easy. No one said caring is easy. No one said showing up is easy, that community is easy, but it's why we're here. I just think we can get better at community. I think we can get better at creating an accessible space that cares, that sees all the people in it. Community isn't just a description, it's something we're here to do and work hard to make. And that hard work takes time, money, resources. It takes giving up some space. It takes stepping down. It takes stepping aside. It takes pulling people up. It takes accountability, vulnerability, reflection, and humility. So I want to ask tonight, who are you thinking about in your community? Do you think about how people are pushed to the margins of our community to find peace? Do you think about what they need? What ways you might be standing in their way? All of us have privileges that we need to reflect on. How can you use your resources or to help them, to support them, to help people in our community who need that support to find peace? Peace and solidarity go hand in hand. And that doesn't mean conflating everyone's issues as equal, but it does mean caring as much about what's going on for other people as we care about people who are like us. It means fighting racism, Islamophobia, ableism, transphobia, fatphobia. It means not just saying those words over and over again, putting them on posters, but reflecting and think, how are we actually making a change? How are we actually doing that when we create our spaces? I'm going to end with a quote. It's a quote that we hear so many times over Pride, but I'm going to say it 3 times to make sure that we really, really digest what this means. It's a quote by Marsha P. Johnson, and she says, "No pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. There is no pride for some of us without liberation for all of us." One more time. There is no pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. Thank you. Let me not leave the stage before introducing an amazing sibling, artist, and activist friend of mine, Lucky Roy Singh. Please welcome to the stage.
Oh my God, you all look amazing. What you do? That's not patronising, I don't know what it is. Just a tone in my voice, I do apologise. This is what happens. We've just been performing with the lovely Cheddar Gorgeous at Home MCR. It was absolutely amazing. If you missed it, you snooze, you lose. You know, one of those. I am here with my lovely, lovely, lovely people from House of Spice, which is... Hi! So, those of you that don't know me, my name is Lucky Roy Singh. I am the award-winning activist for forced marriage, honour-based abuse, domestic violence, and I am also house mother of the lovely House of Spice. Yay! This is Jahida, and she is called Big and Spice from House of Spice. We like that. She's the auntie of the house. And we have Chachu, which is the lovely Hearst. I needed to take this off. I need to walk around. My coochie's not showing, is it? Anyway, back to it. Just off the back of what my lovely kids said, you know, like Evie, Ibby, absolutely nailed it. And my sibling, Soraya, she absolutely chokeslammed the shit out of that, and you lot know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, we're all here to stand and say to you, just stop being fucking racist. It's not hard. I'm not being funny. I cannot tell you how hard it is to keep having to explain your existence or going on a night out after you've been campaigning for forced marriage and honour-based abuse, domestic violence, and seeing little kids, men and women all around the country, and then having to go out on a night out and then just be racially slurred or face racism and this and that. We should not be having this conversation, like Evie said, in 2022. It's absolutely disgusting and vile, and I'm appalled at it, and I'm appalled at Via, I'm appalled at Canal Street, and this was very last minute, but I am here to stay at this stage because at the end of the day, we deserve this platform to make people understand that just because we're brown, just because we're black, we still belong here and we do matter. On the back of that, I don't know if you've read about what happened to our lovely family on the night out, but it was Exhibit A. Let me show you. Just that. That's what really pissed them off.
That offended the whole of the gay village.
Oh my God. Little bit of titty, a little bit of a bra. Come on, look how gorgeous that bra is. Come on. You know, Huss, would you like to say a few words for me, my darling, and show us the beauty that you've got under that? Because we all deserve to shine, and we also love to see a bit of the chest. Oh. It's a good thing he's not one of the children from the house, isn't it? He's the uncle. I get to sleep with him now and then, so you know.
I'd like to know what the difference is between this chest and that chest. If
There
we're
it
fighting
is.
for inclusive spaces and places, it shouldn't matter about shit like that. What should matter is the integrity of which we stand for as a village. And the spaces and places in the village, I've had enough. I don't know about you guys, but I've fucking had enough. We deserve genuine inclusivity.
Not the F word, the kids are here.
Sorry, kids.
No, on the back of that, I'm just going to introduce Jahida quickly to say a few words.
So, I mean, if you think about it, mathematics, as an Asian person, maths, science, physics, I'm down with. Right? Listen, some shit is real. We have gone to Mars. We're about to go to Mars again, take some more images. We've been to the moon and back. We've even reclassified Pluto as a rock. Right? And yet, the three of us, the five of us, the six of us, the seven of us can't go out on a spontaneous night out to Via Fossa without getting racially abused, without the P word being used, without the N word being used. It is absolutely disgusting. Now we've got to spend 6 months campaigning and letting white people know how racist white people are. And it's literally, you guys started this shit. Racism is started by white people. You have to do something to finish it. We are not responsible for your shit. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
On the back of that, you are our allies, and we really appreciate what we're going to be doing going next. We are not going to be staying quiet, guys. Unfortunately, we are now fully booked until January of this year. Yes. On the back of that as well, we are going to be having a lovely celebration in Canal Street soon. We will invite all our allies. We will also ask you to sign our petition, which I will be taking to the government. There is lots of stuff going to be happening under the bridge, under House of Spice, a lot of stuff. But what we do ask from you guys is to really be supportive, really care about what we're actually saying, because it doesn't just affect us, unfortunately, what happened that night. It's now becoming a Canal Street, Manchester-based issue in the north of people of colour being racially profiled, having abuse, and even white people, unfortunately, have suffered hands of abuse in the village. This should not be happening. I stand here and I promise you, I'm fighting for all of you guys, as well as House of Spice, and I will change the street. I just want to thank Manchester Pride for giving us this platform very last minute. I really, really do appreciate it, because it's platforms like this that are going to help us go forward, make the changes, and implement strong foundations for queer people of colour, for trans people, for my lovely children from House of Spice. I don't want... Someone was crying on me earlier. I've got makeup on here. I don't want to say any names. That one over there. But, you know, I love you all. Thank you so much for this platform. Cheddar Gorgeous, would you like to come out?
Cheddar!
Hello.
Yeah, she's got her fisting gloves on. We love it. We love it.
We're all lucky to have her. I'm lucky. You're lucky. We're all lucky. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Cheddar. Thank you, Manchester Pride.
Oh, she's so lucky. She's a star. How many other lucky quotes can we come up with? I really wanted to introduce Lucky. I'm a bit sad I didn't get to. I've got the serious gloves on because Pride's about to begin. And I put them on specially for our next speech. Joanna just loves these serious gloves, don't you? I think they're I couldn't have them earlier because I couldn't actually flip the paper off the flip chart with them. But I think it's good to have I don't know why I'm getting a bit erotic with the stand while I'm up here. But I think a serious glove is very good for a protest. Don't you think? Because you don't know. You just don't know where it's going to lead. Political action, everybody's into it. It makes you very popular. Our next speaker is a theatre maker, an activist, a writer, a performer. They have so many accolades. I feel quite intimidated. And also they're incredibly attractive and an incredibly nice and funny, kind person. It's Nathaniel J. Hall.
I'm just going to have to raise this up a bit because it's a little bit small. I can't squat for 10 minutes like that. Thank you, everyone. My name is Nathaniel J. Hall. My pronouns are gay and fabulous. Thank you. And can we just give it up for all the amazing speakers tonight? Because they've just been absolutely amazing. The future is definitely spicy in Manchester. I'm feeling really, really inspired. Now, before I go into my speech proper, I just want to do a bit of a public service broadcast announcement. So I don't know if some of you know, but the theme for this year's Pride is March for Peace. And I was walking up Market Street earlier today, and I have to say, Manchester, I was feeling anything but peaceful. And I'll tell you for why. We've got any heterosexuals in? We have, haven't we? I heard you before. Put your hands up. Show yourselves. We love you. Allies, thank you so much for coming and being supportive. But what I'm going to need you to do is dial up that walking speed, right? Because quite frankly, it's homophobic. And let's the city is ours this weekend, okay, right? You get it the rest of the week, the rest of the year. We get it this weekend, so you're going to have to dial up that walking speed. So think maybe, I don't know, like gay with iced latte, or if you're feeling bold, you could go for believe by share. I don't care, but if we're all going to live peacefully this weekend, I'm going to need you to do that for me. Can you do that? Yes, thank you very much. Pass on the message to everyone else as well. Okay, so Pride asked me to come and have a little talk about peace. And whenever I do a speech, just like anyone else, where do I go? I Google it straight away. So I Googled the word peace. And you know, when you look up the word peace in the English dictionary, often the first definition goes something like this: freedom from public disturbance or war. Great. Of course, there are other definitions that follow. A quiet and calm state of mind, very zen, we like that one. Agreement and harmony amongst people. But in English, first and foremost, peace is defined by the absence of conflict, pain, and suffering. It's all very English, isn't it? You see, you don't often see the definition of war or conflict described as the absence of peace. So why is peace, in the first instance, described as the absence of war? You know, sometimes I feel restricted by the language that I was raised with. In Zulu, they have the word Ubuntu. It means gentleness, compassion, hospitality, openness, vulnerability, to be available. In Hawaiian, they have aloha. The closest direct translation of that word is presence of breath or breath of life, but it also means peace, love, compassion, pity, and even grief. And in Hebrew, they have shalom. It means, wait for this, completeness, wholeness, health, peace, welfare, safety, soundness, tranquility, prosperity, perfectness, fullness, rest, harmony, and then after all that nagging English definition tagged on the end, the absence of disdain or discord. So you can see why I feel restricted by my language. Now, the Archbishop Desmond Tutu once said, if you want peace, you need to go talk to your enemies. Maybe he's right. Maybe peace only exists in opposition to conflict. That's a depressing thought. Happy Pride, everyone. Well, what if that conflict is within yourself? Because as queer people, we grow up in a confusing and painful world. We're often rejected, ridiculed, othered. For us, finding peace is a journey to tackling the conflicting feelings we have about ourselves. I've said it before, but it's worth repeating. I look about at our community this weekend celebrating with Pride, but I know that so many of us are drowning with shame behind closed doors. And hurt people hurt other people. I get it. I've lived it. But you know, I still think that us queer folk are God-tier humans. We have faced unimaginable persecution, both here and abroad, and yet still we rise, and still we march, and still we party and celebrate this intoxicating thing called life. We have worked hard for peace within ourselves, within our community. But not all of us get to have a peaceful life. Tonight's speakers have spoken far more eloquently on that than I ever could. People like me living with HIV, shunned, othered, rejected. Those with disabilities, unable to enter the spaces we have built for our own safety. LGBTQ plus refugees seeking peace and asylum here, only to be met with our own government's hostile environment. Gay and bisexual men trapped in a self-destructive cycle of sex and drugs. Our black and brown LGBTQ plus family on the receiving end of racism, still being thrown out of venues on that street right there. And our trans and gender diverse friends receiving seamlessly endless hate and vitriol, both online and in person. And let's not pretend that some of that vitriol and hate is not coming from within our own community. Because hurt people hurt other people. You know, sometimes it feels like that queer utopia is just a dream. But at the back of this park, there stands a beacon. And it's called the Beacon of Hope. For 22 years, that Beacon of Hope has stood as a memorial to those we've lost to HIV. And a bit like me, over the past few years, she's been feeling a little bit worse for wear. We all feel it, right? But this year, a consortium of organisations and charities and community groups have worked very, very hard to restore the beacon to its former glory. And their work should inspire us to take the time to restore ourselves when we feel worn out by the fight. Now, this year's Pride might be about peace, but right at this minute, I want you to make some noise. Shout, scream, go wild to remind the universe that we are here, we are queer, and we are worthy of peace. I feel restored already. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to dance. That newly restored beacon stands proudly as a symbol of our remembrance, as an inspiration for our activism, and as a message of hope for peace. Peace from illness, peace from stigma, peace from oppression. And you know what? It's never too late to learn a new language. This Pride, I wish you all Ubuntu, Aloha, and Shalom. Happy Pride, everyone. Thank you very much.
That doorway's going to get me. Stay, Nathaniel, stay. Don't go. Stay. I'm just going to invite all of the amazing speakers. We can have some rapturous applause for them. Wesley Nibisam, Evie DeLuca, Dominic Lawton, we've got Kate O'Donnell, we've got Tony Openshaw, we've got Soraya Isha, we've got Nathaniel J. Hall, and we've got the lovely Lucky and the House of Spice. Did I get it? I think I've got everybody. I'm sorry if I haven't. Thank you, all of you, for coming out tonight and joining us for this really, really important event. Let's be honest, it would be easy for you not to. It would be easy just to carry on partying and turn a blind eye and not worry about it at all. But you came here tonight, you made the effort, but don't let it end with just tonight. Take it forward. All of you out there, no matter what your body is, no matter what your gender identity is, I want you to put on a nice bra this weekend, and I want you to go into that village. And we're going to see who they throw out of the venues, and then we'll know, won't we? Now, I want you to get those placards in the air for one last time, because we're going to say Pride is a march. Pride is a party. Pride is queer joy. Pride is what? Thank you so much.
Your back's against the wall. There's no one home to call. Keep forgetting who you are. You can't stop crying. It's part of giving in and practice in your friends. You'll do it all again, and I'm not lying. Standing in the way of control. Gotta live your life survive the only way that you know. I'm doing this for you because it's easier to lose, and it's hard to face the truth when you think you're dying. It's part of giving in and practicing your friends. You'll do it all again, but you don't stop trying. Standing in the way of control. Gotta live your life survive the only way that you know.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing Pride, everybody.